It is time for another annual August challenge. If you're not familiar with them, every year I run a month-long challenge where we tackle things that have been on our to-do list for a while or things that we are struggling with so that we can tick them off once and for all. So for one full month, we are working on getting one step closer to our goals. Stay tuned for what I am challenging myself with this year. It is something that I have never done before. I think it's going to be quite the adventure. I'll probably have to take the entire month of September off afterwards though. I'll also be sharing some of my top tips for completing the challenge successfully. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together, and I help people get organized, get motivated and challenge themselves to make massive progress on their goals. The first year I started this, it was because I was arse deep in the KonMari method and stuff was just piling up everywhere. So I gave myself 1 month to clean up and clear out. And thus, the 1 month challenge was born. Last year, I challenged myself not to consume any new information. That was a big one for me because I am such a lover of learning, but I just found I was becoming completely overwhelmed by the flood of information that I was exposing myself to. It was just becoming too much and I had to put a stop to it. It was difficult, but I did it. And I have to say, that challenge changed me. It changed how I consume information and how much information I consume. It just helped me streamline the whole process, and I have been able to avoid information overload ever since. And now we come to this year's challenge. As most of you know, we are moving to the States next week, in fact, August 2nd. That in itself will be a challenge, but I am challenging myself to get to know my surroundings inside out. I know that will probably sound a bit silly, but being a home bird and an introvert and working at home and just generally being a very insular person, I'm not always great at taking in what's happening around me. For example, I have lived in Dublin for 13 years now, and I still don't really know the city or the suburbs where I live. I don't know the names of all of the areas and housing developments, and I certainly don't know the names of most of the streets. If someone stops me for directions, I haven't a clue. I generally have to pull out my phone and look it up. That is going to change. When we move, I am going to make a concerted effort to find out where everything is, to memorize different routes and locations, to explore local attractions, to find the best playgrounds, to know where all the shops are, all the parks, to attend lots of events, to find out about local groups and meetups and workshops, even just to find where everything is in my new home and how it works. I want to know as much as I can. I know for a lot of you that is going to sound ridiculous, but I guess the challenge is to just push myself outside of my comfort zone and immerse myself in the new city and the new culture. I want Cincinnati and the suburbs where I'll actually be living to become my new home as quickly as possible, to assimilate. I want to feel comfortable and knowledgeable there because leaving my actual home is going to be hard enough for me. So I want my new home to be familiar as soon as possible. It is going to be a huge struggle for me because I'm so introverted. New people and places and sounds overwhelm me. They can be overstimulating and I can feel really drained by them. So the one concession that I am making is that I'm not going to force myself to meet a lot of new people. I find social interactions to be particularly energy sapping, so I'm going to focus on things, locations, events, how the washing machine works. Things that I can find out about on my own, and then when I know what I'm doing and where I'm going and just generally feel more comfortable, then I will go about meeting some people. One step at a time, folks. And now it is over to you. What challenge will you take on? Some of you may also be moving, or maybe have just moved, or maybe like me, you feel that you don't really know your area or your neighbours or all of the local festivals and happenings. You don't take advantage of all the local facilities and services. For you, I challenge you to get out and about over the next month and discover something new about where you live. Maybe the library runs a book club that you would love to join, or the local grocery store has just started doing home deliveries, or there is a recycling centre much closer than the one you've been using. Make it your business to make your life a little bit easier and more pleasant by discovering something new around you. If you already feel comfortable in your area, then I challenge you to find something new about your home. Read the instruction manuals for some of your appliances. You will find most, if not all, of them online. Figure out what that setting on your dishwasher that you never use does. Learn what all your vacuum cleaner attachments are for. Finally, figure out how to program the timer on your thermostat. Whatever, learn something new that will make your life a little bit easier and more enjoyable. And here are a few tips for doing it. If you use social media, particularly Facebook and Twitter, do a search for the name of your town or city or just the local area and see if any groups or pages or profiles pop up that look interesting and will tell you about local news and upcoming events. Scan through local newspapers, the websites of local media outlets. Go to your local library and look at the notice board. You will find a wealth of information there, both about workshops, usually free, that the library themselves are running, but also about other events that are happening in the area. Libraries are so much more than just books. As I've already mentioned, hop online and look up the user manual to one of your appliances. Spend a few minutes reading through it until you come across a feature or a function that you didn't know about or that you weren't using properly, and then go test it out. Use an app or sat-nav to find a local attraction that you've never been to before, and then go. Or if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, hop in the car and drive in a direction that you have never gone before. Now, if you can't just be driving around all day, then maybe set a timer for 30 minutes or so. Drive until the timer goes off and then turn around and go back home. Or hop on a form of local public transport that you've never taken before, or maybe, for example, a bus route that you've never been on, and see where it goes. Honestly, your options are pretty much endless, but go out there and explore your surroundings until you discover something new and exciting. Give this video a thumbs up if you are ready to take on the 1 month challenge. Let me know in the comments below if you will be taking on this particular challenge that I am setting, or if there is something else on your to-do list that you would rather tackle. Whatever it is, make it your focus for the next 4 weeks and then enjoy the satisfaction of putting a big old tick beside it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I upload new videos every Thursday to help you live a simpler, happier life. And so you will get an update on how I fared with this challenge. I suspect September will be for snoozing. If you are on YouTube, the button looks like this and you will find it down there. Until next time, the Nairi an Live. Slán.